want to do is just prime your eye, and I normally use the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I just like to use it with my fingers, to be honest. I just find it's the easiest and quickest way to do it. Now once you've done that, you're going to be applying the first transition colour. Excuse my voice because I'm kind of ill at the moment, but I really did want to do a tutorial, so here I am. We're going to be using a lot of the colours from the Naked palette, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the Naked palette. And personally, my preference, I like to use matte colours in the crease. I just find it looks a lot more clean and natural. So the first colour we're going to go in with is Naked, which is probably one of my most used colours, this colour here. And I'm just going to go in with a 217 brush, and I'm just literally going to apply it in the socket, in the crease. This brush probably has other products on it as well because I've just done this eye, but no worries. So once you've applied your transition colour, I just like to go in with the main bright colour, and for this I'm using a Makeup Atelier pigment, which is this beautiful, really bright, almost indigo blue, but it looks a lot more turquoise on the eye because I've sort of blended it out quite a bit. It looks like that on the hand. It's really, really pretty. This is called Azur, however you say it. And I'm just taking this really old Estee Lauder brush, which is really good for packing colour under the eyes, and I'm taking a tiny bit of pigment and then rubbing the rest off on the back of my hand. As you can see, it can go from that to that, so you can really customise the intensity of it. So I'm just applying that underneath the eye, and I'm just sort of buffing it in. I know it will look a bit overpowering at first, but once you've got all the other stuff on, it's going to look a lot more natural. Okay, if you feel like you've put a bit too much on, which can be the case when you use a brush like that, just take a Q-tip and just clean it up. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is just build up the crease colour. I'm going to take the next darkest shade to Naked, which is Buck. Just this one here with the same brush that I was using before. And I'm just going to concentrate a bit further down on the eye now. Rather than just do it all over, I'm just going to literally concentrate on this area. Okay, and then we're going to apply a bit of a highlight colour. We're going to take a bit of Virgin, just this one here, tiny bit. You don't want to do too much because then it can kind of look a bit outdated, you know, when people have those really highlighted brow bones. So literally just take a sweep of that. It just helps blend in the Buck as well, really. Okay. So next we're going to take a short shader brush. I'm just using this MAC 213, and we're going to take the colour Darkhorse, which is a nice shimmery colour here. It's quite a muted greyish brown, I would say. And we're just literally going to apply it on the lid, on the outer third or outer half of the eye, I would probably describe it as. And we're just going to pack on the colour. Just the whole point of this part is just literally to pack on the colour. We're not trying to blend. Personally, I think this look suits a lot of people, but if you want to do purple under the eyes, you know, if you want to do a different colour, I didn't do purple because I've seen a lot of tutorials at the moment with, you know, people using purple, so I decided to do something a bit different. But you could do this exact same look, just using different colours, but obviously just keep the muted browns in it just to keep it a little bit more wearable. But obviously you can customise it to whatever colours you like. Okay, so now we've got the outer third of that eye applied. We're then going to take one of my favourite highlighting eyeshadows, which is Ricepaper by MAC, which is a really nice frosted colour. And I'm going to take that on this inky dinky brush here, which is the Palladium Tools 755. And I'm just going to apply it in the tear duct and the part that we didn't apply the shadow on. Don't be too worried about blending it yet, just as long as it's applied. Okay, then we're going to take the brush that we started out with, and we're going to take Buck again, and then we're going to start to blend out the Darkhorse, okay? You don't want it too blended, because the more you blend your colours, you know, the more you might have to go back and reapply some. So you just want to blend it for now, and if you want to build up the colour as you go along, that's fine. Okay, so now we're going to take this, one of my favourite drugstore products at the moment that I mentioned in one of my, I think it's my best drugstore products video, and this is the Scandal Eyes Waterproof Kohl Eyeliner by Rimmel. This is in the colour, what colour is this? Nude. This is totally matte, by the way, for any of you asking. It's just a really nice wake me up colour for the waterline, because I want to keep this look quite fresh, so I'm not going to be using much black. Okay, so next up, instead of doing a black liner, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and to be honest with you, this is kind of dried up a little bit, so it's not that easy to use, so I've had to go in with a black just to neaten it up a bit, so it looks like a black blue, to be honest. It doesn't really look a standout blackish, but this is a Stila product. This is one of their smudge pots, and this is in the colour Cobolt. Cobolt? Yeah, that's correct. Just a beautiful indigo blue. Really, really like this colour. And I'm going to be applying it. I'm just going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus on the end, just to wet it a little bit, to make it a little bit more easy to work with, because it is a bit hard when it comes out in little bits, you know, and it dries up and you're kind of applying it and it smudges. It's just not good. Obviously I don't want to throw it out yet, because I love the colour and I'm sure I can get a couple of uses out of it. So what I like to do is I just like to take the brush, I'm using the Palladium Tool 710, and then just to make sure that it's applying nicely, I just like to wipe off the excess on the back of my hand. And what's good with gel liners is that you can really get at the base of the lashes as well, which is why I kind of prefer them, to be honest. So I'm just going to take my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just starting to build up the colour. I'm sorry if my camera's not that good. The lighting is a bit off at the moment. This side's a bit darker, but I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing you want to concentrate on really is just getting the colour at the base of the lashes, then you can worry about the precision later. Okay, so now we've mainly got the shape and we've mainly got the blue, you know, the blue shade to it. We can go over with the black to sharpen it up, because you're not going to get that sharp edge unless you've got, you know, a really new gel liner, or it's pretty, you know, pretty new and it's still got that texture to it. This one hasn't. But I'm just going to mark out where I want my flick to be. As you can see, I've done a slight flick on that corner. So what I like to do is just have a look in the mirror and sort of dot where I would want it to be. Okay, so now I've got it on. I'm going to go over with the black, and for the black I'm using one of my all-time favourite liquid liners, and this is by Maybelline, and this is a cheaper version of, you know, if you don't want to spend money on Lancome and stuff like that. I also really like the Lorac Front of the Line Pro liner. I think that is one of the best ones I've ever had, and it's definitely worth the money, but I've run out of that unfortunately, so I'm going to use this instead. So I'm going to kind of concentrate on the inner corner and then going outwards, just defining the eye a little bit more. So you kind of want a little bit of emphasis just on this part here. Okay, so now I'm just going to curl my lashes using my favourite lash curler. I've got black all over my face. This is the Shiramura lash curler, which is totally worth the money. It's one of the best ones I've used, so I think I'll definitely be using this forever. And because we're wearing false lashes, really natural false lashes, I'm not really going to bother with mascara. I'm not going to go super crazy, so I'm just using this Byterry Growth Boost mascara, which is amazing, in black. Super, super nice if you have sensitive eyes. It's not flaky at all, and it's just a nice, one of my favourite mascaras. Okay, so for lashes, I'm just using these really super natural Allure ones. I'll show you what they look like. They're just mostly just lengthening ones, to be honest. Nothing too special.